Okay, so we're doing a just example for kinematics for a drop problem. So we take a Starbucks Frappuccino, a pumpkin spice latte, I think it was, and we drop it from 5 meters. And the question is, how long is it in the air for, and what's the velocity at the end? What number did I not tell you, but we know and we can work with? Okay.
Initial velocity.
Okay, good. So VI is 0, yeah. Because we drop it, you know it starts at 0. What is, so there's one other number as well. Arissa. Good. Acceleration equals 9.8. Zyra, would you agree? Yeah. Would everyone agree with this? Scarlett, what would you say? Okay, some of us would say negative. So I guess we have to decide something. If this could be positive or it could be negative. We have to decide whether up is positive, down is negative, or the reverse. How many of you would make down negative? Okay, a lot of you. Who would, because in this case everything is going down, who would say, no, I'm just going to keep it all positive? Okay, that's interesting. I think slightly more hands were in the negative and positive. If that makes sense to you, great. But if you want to make down positive, that's totally fine. You can just make this positive and then all your numbers will be positive. You won't have to worry about the negatives. Okay, so we want the time. How are we going to find that time? There's a couple different ways we can do it. Which formula are we going to use from up here? Okay.
VF squared equals VI squared plus 2AD.
Okay, so we can use that one. So we have, this one. We know A and we know D and we know VI. That will give us VF, right? What if we wanted to find the time and we didn't care about the VF? Omar?
Use the D equals DIT plus half AT squared.
Okay, but Omar, this is going to require a quadratic formula. This is messy. No? Pedro's shaking his head no. No, I don't need quadratic? Tell me why.
The 0 gets rid of the VIT component.
So because VI is 0, this goes to 0 because VI times T, whatever the T is times 0 is 0. So this is gone. So we could use this to find the time. And as Kit said, we can use this to find final velocity. Which one do you want to do first? You want to do this one first? Okay, let's do that one first. So we have 0 squared plus 2, actually, sorry. I would like it if you all get to the place where before we put any numbers in, we manipulate the formula. So how am I going to solve this for VF? Or is it already solved for VF? What do you think, Helena? Good, good. I'm just going to square root both sides, and so VF equals the square root of VI squared plus 2AD. What happens to this VI squared? It's gone, right? We don't have to worry about that. So we could say square root of 2AD. So that makes things quite a bit nicer. So if we are using negative, now if you use negative, what is my displacement then? Arissa? It's 5, is it 5? That's wrong, tell me why. Negative 5, yeah. Why? I don't understand, why is it negative 5? The thing is 5 meters high, why is it negative 5? Turn to the person beside you and tell them why, in this case, the displacement is negative 5.
5 meters is always very good. It's just
Alan, do you know? Taha, do you know? You kind of tried. Taha, what does displacement mean? Okay, we're getting there. Rana, what does displacement mean? She's smiling. She's smiling like, I should know this, but I don't. Some of you know. Jack, what does displacement mean? Okay, close. There's a difference between distance and displacement, right? What's the difference, Cass?
How far it's moved from its original point.
Very good. So displacement is where you are from where you started. Okay, so Taha, at the end, where's the drink? 5 meters below. Good. So at the end, this is 5 meters lower than where it started. So for us, that's negative. Now, if you made down positive, it would be positive. But the acceleration and the displacement will both be the same sign. So this is -5 for us. You got to remember that, because if you don't put that in, you'll try to do that on your calculator and it'll come up with the error. Because human beings, we don't know how to take the square root of a negative number yet. But we can take the square root of a positive number. Okay, so this is going to be plus or minus something. That's 20 times 5 is 100. So it'll be about 10. Close to 10. Did anyone do this? Yeah? What did you get, Maddie? 9.9? Okay. So notice that with the square root, this can be positive or negative. For us, what would it be? We chose down to be negative. So for us, what's the velocity at the end? This is going to be negative for us. If you chose positive, then you don't have to worry about any of this negative sign stuff. It's just everything's going to be positive. Cash?
But in your calculator, you can't square root a negative number.
No, correct. So that's why we have to remember that this is negative and this is also negative. So it's going to end up as a positive number and then it'll be fine. If you run into that error, you're forgetting a negative somewhere. Okay, so this is going to be meters per second, right? So that's my velocity. By the way, if you do this one first, you now know the VF, right? This is VF. So we could, to get the time, we could also use the first formula, right? You could just plug in the VF and minus VI and divide by A and you could get the time. But let's do it with this just for fun. How am I going to solve this for T? What do I do with the half? Good, we're going to times everything by 2. That gets rid of the half. So we can do this. Times by 2 times by 2. We're going to have 2D equals AT squared. Okay, I'm getting there. What do I get rid of next? I would get rid of the A first, actually. Because the square is only for the T. So we're going to divide by A on both sides. I'm going to have 2D over A. And now I get rid of the square. And how do I get rid of the square? Omar?
Square root both sides.
We're going to square root both sides. So we're going to have that. Sorry, this is all very confusing here, but so you're going to have 2 times, and again, you need both negatives, right? Otherwise, you're going to have square root of negative 2. So we're going to have the square root of 2 times -5 over -9.8, which is about 10. So that's going to be close to 1. So the time should be close to 1. Maddie? 1.0? 1.01. Okay. 1.0. 1. What would the unit of that time be?
Seconds.
Good. Okay. So my VF was -5 negative 9.9, and my time would be about 1.0 seconds. A little bit more. That's kind of how you would approach these problems. I have some practice for you that I'm going to give you right now. And I'll also post a logger post, so if you get a chance, you can download the logger post stuff.